Well, the serialized One Ring has officially hit a $2 million bounty. Let's talk about what that means for the set itself and what may your chances even be for pulling something like this extravagant card. Welcome on in, Dragon Folk. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I know I am. My name is Alex, and this is your intervention. That's right, I said it. This is your intervention, okay? We are here to talk about none other than the state of TCGs as we know it, specifically with something like Lord of the Rings, the Collector Edition more specifically, because let's just be honest, not many people are probably going to be buying the draft or the set boxes because for some reason they're just not as valuable, right? I wonder why. Is it maybe because there's no serialized cards everywhere? I don't know. Anyway, I'm here to talk about the absolute insanity that is this set in a very, very brief detail while also telling you to just stop gambling. All right? Stop gambling. Do not put your money into this set to try and find it unless you are financially stable in every single portion of your adult life. If you never have to worry about money at all anymore for the rest of your life, if you can go to if you can get a leg amputated and be able to pay that bill in full, if you can lose your car and be able to buy a new one on the spot, full price, cash, no loans, you can do whatever you want, right? But you have to use extreme caution when going into this product because it's $400+ a box right now for a collector's box of Lord of the Rings Collector's Edition. And those are the packs that you're going to find these serialized cards in. Now, serialized cards obviously being fairly new to Magic the Gathering, only once coming up in a Secret Lair product not too long ago, and then officially being in a mainline product during the Brothers' War. We are seeing that serialized cards are still holding a lot of really, really awesome value, but that should not be the reason that you are opening these packs, all right? I think that, again, if you have the money to do something like this, by all means, you go ahead and do it. And even if you don't, if you want to buy one box, go for it. But this set is not for flipping, at least not at this price, okay? It's $400+ for a box. Most of the cards on pre-order, on pre-sale right now, are inflated to all get out because that's just how pre-orders work. Pre-orders work as a way to kind of initiate what the market prices of things are. There's some schmuck out there calculating why these cards are as rare and need to be as much as this is, based on like the rate at which you would need to open boxes or open packs to complete sets of cards. And that's why these cards are going for X amount of dollars. A lot of this stuff is going for thousands of dollars. And it's not even just the one of one ring, which is a $2 million bounty on it, right? This is also including any of the serialized soul rings that are coming in the set too. There was a serialized Dwarven Soul Ring that came out. It's the first one, right? The one of 700 that sold for almost $15,000. Now, was that because it was the first printing, right? The one of 500 or one of 700? Or was it because it is just that rare to find them? Obviously, you're seeing serialized cards get popped up all over the place. And, you know, the one of 500s and the one of 700s and one of 900s, those are all going to be, again, we always have special numbers, right? You know, everybody who's a nerd seems to like the 69 and 420 memes, so those numbers are going to hold a high price point. You've even got the 700 out of 700 is going to be a good one to pick up too. Any of the repeating digits is going to be one to pick up that people are going to like. It's just everybody's got their own favorite thing, right? But the numbers shouldn't determine what the price of the card is, right? Because if it's the first copy, that should not determine what the price of the card is, because they're all the same card. There's just 700 of them, right? The reason that they're just making it more expensive is because it says 1 on it. So I don't know. There's that whole thing there. So that's a big deal. But on top of those serialized soul rings, you're also seeing some really, really good sales from the box toppers that come in this set. The Relics and Realms box toppers that come in these sets. If you get a Surge foil one, which is, apparently like 1 in every like 1 to 2 cases or something, a Surge foil, these Surge foils are just, for the record, these Relics and Realms are just reprint cards. They're reprints of lands and other things that exist in previous sets. It's just reskinned, like the Godzilla cards were, right? The only difference is that these Surge foils are now really, really hard to find. And because they're hard to find, and you need to buy like a case for them, or like 2 cases possibly for 1, they're now going for thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. People are selling the party tree for $1,000 or $2,000 even. And that's just a reskinned The Great Henge, which you can buy for $50, non-foil, at any point. You don't need to spend $1,000 on it. So again, a big thing about this, topic that we're talking about is the fact that this is just bonkers that these prices are continuing to rise, and that they just keep getting more and more insane as the day goes on. And you know what's even more funny, right? Do you guys remember when people were talking mad shit about the Universes Beyond stuff? Do you remember when people were like, this is the worst thing that I've ever seen, and I don't want these characters in my game, and we shouldn't have to be playing with My Little Pony cards and Walking Dead cards in the same. Twilight Sparkle shouldn't be partnered with Rick in a weird pseudo commander deck with only Secret Lair cards. Like, it just shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be a thing that happens. Guess what? Like, you guys are eating this up, right? You're eating it up. The people out here are eating it up. And that's why they're not going to stop. The Universes Beyond is probably the best thing that's happened to Magic in a long while. And because of that, you're seeing a lot of huge success with those products. The Warhammer 40K product, absolutely banger of those decks are insane. Every single card on there has brand new art. And they're so full of flavor from the set. They've got like 6 waves of that thing out now. 6 waves of those commander decks. And I knew they were going to do that. The Universes Beyond is getting people in, but it's only getting them into Commander, or like a small amount, right? This set isn't going to get people into Modern, I don't think. I'm almost certain it's not going to get them into Modern. And now you gotta look at this as, okay, now that these cards that were only really available in like Legacy are now available in Modern. So now Universes Beyond is in Modern, and you have, you're going to be able to go to big Modern 5K events, and you're going to see things like Aragorn and Frodo and Sauron, in these decks, because they're good cards. But I just want you to know that the odds of you pulling any of these big cards, these really, really big fancy cards, is incredibly low. Okay? They're incredibly low to pull any of these big fancy cards. And you should not be opening this product specifically to get the big fancy cards, okay? And listen, before you guys call me some kind of TCG Andrew Tate, which I would appreciate if you never, ever, ever mention that name ever to me, you guys have to realize, everybody has to realize that, like, the mindset of TCGs has changed. A lot of people now focus so much more on the financial value of a card than they do on the fun and play value of a card, right? You do not see so much hype around any of the common cards that come out of sets, or the uncommon cards that come out of sets. You don't see any hype around those, even though they're crazy good. Have you looked at Mirkwood Bats? Look at this thing. This card's good. Like, it's insane to see all these cards get pushed to the wayside because people only care about the gold symbol and the red symbol. And the only thing they care about is whether or not it's got a number on it to determine that it is one of the several cards that are incredibly rare to find. So my whole view on this is as such, without making this any much longer than it needs to be, right? I think the world of TCGs has changed and it has changed for a while, right? It's been like this for a while, probably since the creation of collector boxes, that people, even people who like have just started the game, they'll buy collector product, right? They don't have anything to do with the game. They're trying to build cards for their decks, and they're trying to like get some kind of fancy thing going on, but like they don't realize that like buying the collector packs are not financially responsible if you're just starting to get into the game, right? The collector packs, all they're doing is giving you cards that you may have an opportunity to sell later at a loss, mind you, because any of these pre-order prices are going to be significantly lower when the set comes out. The set's not even out yet. It's still on pre-order. I think it's got like 2 more weeks, like a week. I don't know, it's like 2 more weeks before its official release. Nobody is going to be buying these cards for that high of a price, right? Those box toppers, the Surge Foil ones, not going to be $1,000 ever. They won't. They won't be. They just won't. You also have all the serialized cards. Now, obviously, the serialized cards are different because the serialized cards are, X out of their number, and so it is going to be much harder to find, but you're also going to see significant rise in box prices as time goes on, even with the fact that the cards inside of them are going to have such poor EV, right? There's a few cards in there that are really, really good, and I do imagine they are going to be really, really good for play, much like the Flowering of the White Tree, like I said, Mirkwood Bats, even Shelob, the new Shelob legendary creature. Oh my gosh, new Spider Commander, let's go. This is sick. But people are not appreciating the cards for what they are. At least I don't personally see a lot of it on my feed. I'm not seeing a lot of people appreciate the cards for what they are, for what they do, and to enjoy ways in order to utilize them in their formats. Instead, all I'm seeing is people are talking about the money that you can make out of this set. And currently, at this very moment, I'm sure you could. If somebody out there is stupid enough to pick up a Great Henge box topper for $1,000, yeah, you can make money, right? Especially since the fact that in 3 months from now, you're going to be able to pick up that same card for $200. You made an $800 profit. Sick, right? Absolutely amazing. But you're not getting anywhere with that. It's just not feasible. And so this message is really to everybody who is opening product who's new, right? Maybe new to the game, or maybe, if you're already in this as a business perspective and you understand that, right? I certainly hope that you have your ducks in a row and that you are not putting yourself into a further amount of debt in an attempt to make an incredible amount of money off of, cards that are going to be for $3 a piece in a few months. But mainly for new players, new people getting into the game, new people seeing Lord of the Rings, right? Something that they have a genuine interest in, and then looking at Magic and going, wow, that's an entire set based around Lord of the Rings. I think that's so cool. I want to get that. Just be aware that $400+ boxes is not a normal thing, and that is very, very expensive, and the cards inside of it are not going to give you the same value financially. And because of that, a lot of people are going to lose their ass. A lot of people are going to lose their ass. And when they do, right, it's going to come down to just another, Dominaria United situation where people are going to lose their ass looking for Legends cards in Dominaria United, and they're never going to find them, and then they're never going to make their money back. You're going to have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in product before you're actually able to make a decent amount in what would possibly be the product that you pull from those packs. Not to mention the fact that every single time the ring is not pulled, every single time any of these new creators on YouTube, I'm seeing so many channels being created for the first time because they just want to open the new product of Lord of the Rings so they can have their recording on video when they open the one ring. But lo and behold, every single time a pack is opened, the sealed product price gets higher and higher and higher. You want to know why? Because the more open product there is on the market, the less sealed product there is. The less, and then that means that if nobody's hit the ring yet, now that your chances are a little bit higher, because now, if you got 10 boxes, right? Let's just say in average, right? Let's say 10 boxes were printed and 9 of them were opened and there wasn't the one ring. That means that one box has the one ring in it, right? Theoretically, they may never have printed it, but they put it in that one box, which means that now your odds are incredibly good. But if that one box, some dude owns, and it's just like, this is the last box we have, I know this is going to be in here, that guy can set that price for whatever he wants it to be. He can sell the box for $20 million if he really wanted to, and without even needing to open it to confirm that the one ring is in there. You know what I mean? Like, it just is going to get higher and higher as time goes on. And that is a big, big deal, because a lot of people are really big into sealed. Now, I don't think a lot of people are going to be buying a lot of this sealed product to keep held, simply because it is really, really expensive to buy it. When you find cheap deals on sealed that will increase later on in life, for instance, when Adventures in the Forgotten Realms collector boxes are like $120, or Midnight Hunt, or whatever it might be. If they're like a low price, like crazy low, pick them up now, and then eventually they'll go up in price as the time goes on. But with this, there's a ticking time bomb essentially led with it, and that is it's a very hard thing for people to grasp. So my word to you again is this, right? If you're gonna buy collector packs for Lord of the Rings, for Magic the Gathering, please buy them with the intent of enjoying the cards. And then if you happen to open a really cool card, that's awesome, right? Change your mindset to want to enjoy the set itself. And then if you happen to open a card, right, that is really, 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 really expensive, like a serialized card from here, then you can utilize that with whatever you will. But I just want it to be extremely clear that a lot of people are going to, some people may even form gambling addictions off this. And it's just, I don't know. I don't think it's a scummy thing. I think from a business perspective, it's a fantastic set. I think the thing is really cool. It's awesome. But I think a lot of where the community looks at cards, they see it's in such a negative light because there's so much money involved in it, right? There's so much greed involved in this set because so many people are opening it specifically to get this card that people are out here putting $2 million bounties on, and with like no like word. Somebody can literally just make a post online. I can go online right now and make some post being like, I am offering $10 million for the one ring. You guys don't know my net worth. You don't know what these things are. You don't know I'd be able to do that. But I can say it. I can say it. And then if somebody ends up pulling it, I obviously would be highest on the list. I'd make headlining news. But if I don't have $10 million, I can't really buy it. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of backing to these bounties. And I just feel like a lot of the cards are, again, super, super inflated. So please, if you think they're going to stay like this forever, they're not. They're really not. A lot of the cards that you want for your decks that you're going to be able to buy as singles are going to be available for dirt cheap. If you actually want to get a copy of The One Ring, you're probably going to be able to get one for like $5, which is crazy, right? If you want a Soul Ring in a, serialized version, go for it, right? But if you want a Soul Ring, if you want any kind of Soul Ring, right? There's several million versions of Soul Ring out there, all of them around like $1, $2 a piece, that you don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on. So just keep that in mind when you're opening product. I don't want to see anybody lose to FOMO, right? FOMO is such a very, very disgusting thing to see. A lot of people just, they believe that if they don't get in now, they will never have the opportunity to. And then you see how those things happen 6 years down the line, 10 years down the line. and everybody is complaining about how X set is the worst set they've ever opened because they didn't get any money from it, when they could have said X set was the best set they've opened, or at least have like another valid opinion of a set based on the actual cards themselves, right? Try drafting the Lord of the Rings set. Just give it a shot. Try drafting it. Try playing sealed, right? Go to your pre-release. Go play with the cards. Make a commander deck based around Eowyn. Make a Gimli-led dwarf commander deck, right? Do whatever you need to enjoy the game. And then think about that financial, it can be in the back of your mind, but don't put it to the forefront. Unless you plan to make this a business and you have hundreds of thousands of dollars to drop on a regular basis, and you can pay for all of your bills and all of your, expenses without any worry to you at all on the worth and whether or not your bank account's going to go to zero, you're going to be fine. But most people are not in that situation. And most people see other people pull cards on these YouTube videos and they go, I can do that. And then they drop $400 and they only make maybe $50 back. And they go, oh my God, I cannot believe that I got my ass handed to me through this set. Like this other guy did it and he made hundreds of thousands of dollars. This guy is, making a cool like few $100 and at least making his money back every single time he opens a box. But me, I got $50. Like, don't get into FOMO. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed content like this. And let me know in the comments down below whether or not you're opening Lord of the Rings sets for fun. And I'll see you all very soon. Nerd out.